how are we doing? Just out on a wander again because of lockdown and all that lot, so just enjoying the nice weather. Boris says we're starting to work our way out of lockdown, which is good. I mean, it's necessary to still stick up with all the masks and things, so keep doing that, but it's nice to know we're on our way to a positive, even if you don't believe it entirely or whatever your reasons are. It's just good to know that things are going all right. Vaccines are out now, so that sort of dates this video. And yeah, should we talk about some night photography today? It's a bit odd to think about night photography when it's the middle of the day here. I tried filming during the night and it didn't really work. It was too dark, couldn't see me, and yeah, it's not a good enough vibe to shoot in. So here we are. The goal for this night and these photos that you'll see in a second were to try to photograph a fox early in the morning when it was snowing. Didn't achieve that. I thought I'd still show you some of the night photos that I took during all of that. And when I get home, we'll talk about some of the good points, bad points, and things that I could have done better, so that maybe you can do better. So yeah, night photography. What did we do? So for me, a lot of it was in the planning side of it, working out what time I wanted to get up, to get out, to see what the world looked like at that time, and where I was going to go, how far I was going to walk, what route I was going to take, because obviously you're in the dark. It's there are obviously street lights and things, and that'll be an important thing in a minute, but working out what you're doing, where you're going, so that you don't go down a random road and get lost. Being lost on purpose, as I've talked about before, is fine, it's fun, it's really helpful for the creative process, but getting lost in the dark and you're not too sure of your bearings and orientation isn't a good idea, because then you just end up somewhere, and that's not helpful to anyone. But knowing sort of where you're going and what you're looking for, or having like a tick sheet in your head of, I want to get this photo, this photo, this photo, and this photo, and then allowing that sort of creative experience of seeing other things to help continue the process is the main aspect. With night photography, so set when you want to get up. In this case, I overdid it. I overestimated when I wanted to be up for and when the sun was coming up. I gave myself an hour's more time than I needed, which in the couple of days I went out was in the snow, so being an hour longer in the cold wasn't a good idea. Didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and I came back before sun up. I was out and about beforehand photographing. There was still light coming in, and light from street lights and things, but not enough to see a fox decently and be able to track it and things like that. So yeah, the main goal was to capture a fox, to photograph a fox. Got up around 4ish, had my batteries all charged, the cameras all ready, the lenses on the cameras that I wanted to use, and off we went, plodding around and seeing the world in the snow, in the cold, and in the dark is an interesting thing, which I've done before. I've experienced all of those things, but doing it for a photographic purpose and looking for light and how street lights affect things and where it falls and sits was different and interesting, and made for an interesting series of landscape. But because I'd gone out early, it was too dark. Just even walking to the place where the fox is, I know that the fox is sort of live around and hunt around is it was too dark for me to go there and be able to see and watch like its pitch. I couldn't see that far in front of my face, it was still too dark. So I plodded around, went further out, still sticking to places that I knew and routes that I'd pre-decided. Went out and photographed there, and then plodded back when it was a bit lighter. Started to get cold, and ta-da! Photograph the little gremlins. They weren't there. They either hadn't got up or they'd gone out on their own adventures, gallivanting, doing what foxes do. So most of the photos I got on this occasion are photos of how light is hitting things, and that's still interesting. Wasn't the goal. Still made for an interesting set of photographs, and here you go. So, the thing I think I need to take away from this experience, or you can take away from this experience, is time management. Work out, don't give yourself an hour if you don't need to give yourself an hour's time. It's good to be eager and good to want to do things, but if it's going to be a detriment to you or detriment to the process, just hold back and relax a bit. More planning. Always more planning. Doesn't have to go to plan. Plans don't always work, but at least if you plan, how's the saying go? Failure to plan. No, plan to fail or fail. I can't remember what it is. Either, if you don't plan, then you're not ready for these things. If you don't have an idea or a setup that you want, then you don't get what you want out of it. But that'll be it for today. Grateful for those of you who are watching. It's nice to know somebody is. If you like this video, although it's quite a short one and not particularly entertaining, or are interested in any of the others, go give them a watch and let me know in the comments or all of that. Do the YouTuber thing of saying like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, have a good day.